right, Monique, thanks so much for taking some time to join with me in this conversation today. Been wonderful to work with you and your team. College Prep is just such an amazing, wonderful community. Really enjoyed our time there. Looking forward to working with you on this search. But before we get to the school and the role, I want to talk a bit about you, your background, and what drew you to the school.
Thank you, Gabe. And thank you so much to you and all your team for the wonderful work that you're doing on our behalf. It's really a great partnership, and I really appreciate it very, very much. So I am in my 15th year here at College Prep, having come from schools of different sizes and different geographic locations around the country, and feel really lucky that in landing here, I was able to find a sort of professional home that really lines up with my personal values and feel like I'm pretty lucky to be running the college preparatory school.
And the values and the school are outstanding, and the
Um,
community. Just give folks a sense for anybody who hasn't walked the
Sure.
grounds and just what it's like. I mean, tucked in the hills in an amazing part of the East Bay, and just iconic in both what it's where it is and what it's doing and what it stands for.
Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. It's definitely a very special physical spot. And as all independent schools, pretty informed by our broader community. We're kind of on the border of Oakland and Berkeley. So you can feel that East Bay spirit. The school is about a little over 60 years old and very much founded with a very strong appreciation for the life of the mind and intellectual tradition, but kind of intersected with a kind of egalitarian, unpretentious cultural vibe.
I love that egalitarian, unpretentious cultural vibe, and that really is true. And I think behind that statement is that all voices matter,
Yeah.
and it's an inclusive community that brings a lot of thought to the table too. I
Yeah.
know as you're thinking about the next chapter for technology, you're doing just that in how you think about really being intentional for where the school is headed. Can you give viewers just a sense of like what's in motion and it's just how you bring the community together when you're thinking about where
Yeah.
technology will play a role for the school going
Yeah.
forward.
Thanks. Thanks so much for that. I think one of the strengths of the school, and maybe this is part of its California identity, is that it never is stuck. It never feels like it's a fixed thing. It always feels organic and like it's evolving, but evolving around some kind of principles and some understandings of um, how to center students. We're only a 9 through 12, so we're not a K-12. So we only have them for this sort of quick window. And our students, partially probably because we're one of two schools in the Bay Area on a BART line, uh, our catchment for kids is pretty broad. So they're coming to us from all over the Bay with all different kinds of academic readiness and sort of backgrounds. And so that idea of convening that community and bringing our full and best intention and the tools that we have, whether they're technology tools or human tools, to their development is really always what we're thinking about as the program evolves. On the tech side, we were incredibly fortunate to have a single director who joined the school 25 years ago and really grew up the infrastructure, the approach, the philosophy. He guided us through the implementation of a one-to-one program. I mean, he just really brought that kind of intersection of high technical expertise with high touch and high care for what technology tools can and should mean for teaching and learning. That they were never the tail wagging the dog. They were always in service, and he really did an incredible job building a sort of infrastructure, but also a culture around supporting tech use without trying to impose it down, but really meeting teachers where they were and helping them get to the next level. And he had a wonderful career here and has decided to go back to Kenya, where he's actually from, and is very interested in making sure that we're supporting this transition because he leaves with affection for the school and obviously with our deep affection for him. So I think it's a exciting moment, and it's also kind of a time to take a breath and to really rethink things. Because when you've had one person in any role for that length of time, we take for granted all the expertise he's got between his ears, and now we need to let him unload that onto the broader professional community and let us carry the load and help a new person come in.
And I could tell that affection that you described earlier, it's palpable in both directions. And I will say he also had very high EQ and
Yeah,
just really good with a relational mindset. Let's go
yeah.
back to the school and the community and talk about that relational aspect. And I
Mm,
really see and saw that as we talk to your faculty and staff and administrators, just the
yeah.
connections that you have fostered and that style of leadership give folks a bit more insight.
Once again, and we keep sort of talking about him, so I'm just going to give him a name. It's Edwin. So once again, Edwin really embodied that high performance, low ego kind of approach to things and built that culture. I mean, to the point where I know in some environments tech can sometimes be a friction point and people can get a little grumpy around it. But here, whenever I would feel sort of general morale lagging or people needing a pick me up, like in a faculty meeting, I could say, and what about the tech team? And everyone would give a rousing big applause because he was so appreciated. And his leadership, he wasn't doing it all himself. He had a really strong team and over time created a culture that was very service oriented and very adaptive to the needs as they were presenting themselves. So we felt very lucky to be
That's
held.
that's great. I guess final question is thinking about needs going forward.
Mhm.
And yeah, you can speak tech, but you can speak just more broadly about where this school is headed and wheels that are in motion. Just when
Mhm.
the next tech director arrives next year and they join the admin team and they pick up the ball and are there to work with you and your leadership team on things that are in motion. Just in your own words, where are things, shall we say, headed for the school, or what are you hoping to be working with your team around, and just the ongoing conversations that are happening strategically that are going to be a part of the next 3 to 5 years for the school?
Gabe, I like how you frame that as the simple little, let me give you the sort of soundbite on it, because that's a kind of an enormous question that I think all schools are kind of wrangling with right now, right? There's fundamental questions about purpose of education and what's a durable skill and what does it look like going forward in this environment that, as we all know, has been um, sort of the zone has been flooded with all AI possibilities. So there's a lot of really good conversations to be had about, I think, all the aspects of the grammar of school, knowing that we are probably positioned in many ways to be true to certain fundamentals about skill preparation. While we don't want to turn into sort of a snow globe of ourselves. We want to stay open to what's changing. Our director of technology sits as a member of our senior administrative team, which is a little horizontal here. And everybody comes around the table and we sort of share in all of the bigger issues. I think we're thinking a lot about um, what it looks like to help our kids really not only acquire knowledge but have the skills to make meaning from the knowledge, and whether that is about experiential learning or whether that's about um, it more integrated cross-disciplinary kind of work, or whether that's about technology enhanced and supported learning. I think the kind of core question that most school leaders are going to be getting back to are sort of around what makes meaningful learning or what makes learning meaningful. And so we are talking and thinking a lot about that. And a technology leader will be a really important partner in that for sure.
I do actually have one bonus question, just and
Sure.
in terms of partnership, because you've been there a while.
Yes.
Edwin stayed there a very long time. Many of your faculty have been there for a long time. Tell me, just, I'm sure it's different for everybody, but what is it about college prep that keeps people there and keeps people energized and saying this is my home?
Yeah. Wow. Once again, a simple one. I have to get back to a kind of generous culture. We talk a lot about wanting our students to be intellectually adventurous and ethically sure-footed and generous of heart and spirit. Like those are words that are in our mission language. But also, if we want that for the students, we've got to model that for them by creating an adult community that represents those values. And I think for students, this would not be this. We don't have any pressure to be everything to everyone. This is not an all-in kind of culture where we're able to do everything, and where our scale is small, and our clarity about who we are and how we do it is pretty strong. And I think what that means is that the adults that end up finding a professional home here read that it's a good match, find what they thought they were going to find, and then a lot of them stick because it's a pretty great place to be.
I would concur, at least somebody who's visited a couple of times, and I hope we can help you find someone who finds a great match for you and the school. It's just a fabulous community, wonderful experience we had, and looking forward to working with you on the rest of the search. Appreciate your time, and thanks
Thank you so
so
much,
much,
Dave.
Monique.
We appreciate all of your help.
Oh, my pleasure.